the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Had to cut off my friends even though that I miss them. Feel like niggas be tripping. I be needing some distance. I ain't smoking no blunts, I ain't purposely sipping. Man, I'm moving too different. I been calculating on my steps, my nigga. Working hard on my vision. That's the life that I'm living. I ain't focused on y'all, I'm just minding my business. I ain't saying you bad for me, but I know you can feel that the energy shifting, the energy changing. So lately I've been making new rearrangements. What would you do if you was me? And you can see it like I see it. And you can feel we not connected. I feel like you would respect. So I'm making a checklist of things that I wanna do while I'm still living. Had to grow out my feelings, put good vibes in the building. Cause too many times I listen to everybody, need to listen to me. Too many times I was up at nonsense, need to be by the trees. I gotta catch me a breeze and get rid of all the shit I don't need and live this life of mine, my speed. I need a trip way overseas, need this for me. I'll spend no time focusing on me. Spend some time focusing on you. Know it's crazy this world we live in, but it's nothing new. I'll spend no time focusing on me. Spend some time focusing on you. Know it's crazy this world we live in, but it's nothing new under the sun. 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 The sun, under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. The sun, under the sun. It's time to lift up everybody, you know. Nothing new under the sun. Time to get out in the sun and feel one with everything. We are not superior. We are equal. We are divine. We are the light. We are everything and nothing. At the same time, it's so beautiful, y'all. It's so beautiful. Nothing new under the sun. Oh, 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 oh. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Had to cut off my friends even though that I miss them. Feel like niggas be tripping. I be needing some distance. I ain't smoking no blunts, I ain't purposely sipping. Man, I'm moving too different. I been calculating on my steps, my nigga. Working hard on my vision. That's the life that I'm living. I ain't focused on y'all, I'm just minding my business. I ain't saying you bad for me, but I know you can feel that the energy shifting, the energy changing. So lately I've been making new rearrangements. What would you do if you was me? And you can see it like I see it. And you can feel we not connected. I feel like you would respect. So I'm making a checklist of things that I wanna do while I'm still living. Had to grow out my feelings, put good vibes in the building. Cause too many times I listen to everybody, need to listen to me. Too many times I was up at nonsense, need to be by the trees. I gotta catch me a breeze and get rid of all the shit I don't need and live this life of mine, my speed. I need a trip way overseas, need this for me. I'll spend no time focusing on me. Spend some time focusing on you. Know it's crazy this world we live in, but it's nothing new. Don't spend no time focusing on me. Spend some time focusing on you. Know it's crazy this world we live in, but it's nothing new under the sun. 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 The sun, under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. The sun, under the sun. It's time to lift up everybody, you know. Nothing new under the sun, babe. Time to get out in the sun and feel one with everything. We are not superior. We are equal. We are divine. We are the light. We are everything and nothing at the same time. It's so beautiful, y'all. It's so beautiful. Nothing new under the sun.
Peace and blessings. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being at Pronoia Starseed Podcast. You could be anywhere else and you chose to be here. So I thank you. I thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those who will tap in later, I thank you. Thank you for your views. Please like this post. Please share with your friends and family. We are live tonight. And first and foremost, I just want to say again, thank you for being in the building. I took some time off. As you may have noticed, I've been gone for about a week. That's all. That's a week. And I took some time to reflect on a lot of stuff that's been going on, not necessarily in the world, but in my own personal life. Because I am not all caught up in everything that's going on outside, more so what is inside. So I took that time to reflect so I could be prepared, be prepared for this here show. And the reason I wanted to be prepared for this show was because it's a very important show for me. Um, this show, for one, this subject matter is the number one reason why I started this podcast. Um, Before 2012, but we'll go to 2012 soon. But a long time ago, I felt very connected to an energy that was not necessarily the energy I was being taught about. Um, and I kept being drawn to things that other people weren't necessarily looking into when I was younger. And so this here podcast, this episode is very important because this episode kind of wraps up a lot of things that led me to doing the podcast, as well as opening up your minds, hopefully, to understand certain things that may have not been taught to us. And again, I'm going to start this by saying, first and foremost, this show is dedicated to my mother. Last year, my mother passed. So it's been 1 year today. So today has been a little rough. My eyes are a little watery, but I'm good. And this show is important to me because a year ago, I was supposed to do this show in like April. And that's when I got the news that my mother was no longer going to be able to receive chemo. She was going to be going to hospice. And within 1 month of that, she passed. So she never even made it over to hospice. She had passed away. So just make sure I'm still here with y'all. Y'all still see me, right? Making sure because my little camera flipped off. But so she passed away May 21st, 2021. And it was extremely hard for me. I was down there with her. I had flown down to Alabama to be with her about a week and a half before she passed. And so I was able to sit with my mother. And the great thing about being, thank you, Stephanie. The great thing about being able to sit with my mother was that I got to explain some of the things that I understood about life to my mother, as much as I could, because I knew that she was in and out. But I wanted to be sure that she understood what was going to occur and what was happening, um, with her transition, because we know that energy never dies. But I knew at that time that, I had to be strong and not sit there and cry and weep. And, I had to, really understand actually what I had been preaching all this time about spirituality and what it really meant to transition and how energy never really dies and all of that good stuff. I had to really put that into play. So, being as though I had to put that into play and all that stuff was going on at the same time, I decided not to do the show. And because it was heavy, it was very heavy at the time. I was being pushed by people to keep moving and keep going. And let me just tell you something about when you lose your mother. There is no keep going. There is a pause. And we all need to take that pause. And if you've ever lost your mother, I feel for you because I understand. But as humans, we should take that pause. So, excuse me, y'all. It's been only a year, so, and I don't think it gets easier. So, but this show is about the greater, bigger mother that is connected to all the divine feminine. And that is what I want you guys to understand, is that we are all connected to a bigger, greater mother. This mother has been this mother has been disregarded. This mother has been hidden. This mother has been cast aside. Um, and it's a crazy thing because it's an energy that we all hold. So, as I clean my face and I get back to my center, thank you, peace and blessings. I want to start by saying that this show is not going to be for everybody. Some of the things I may tell you or inform you of may blow your mind. They may change your mind, or they may piss you off. I am not responsible for that. If you decide to continue to listen, understand that these are downloads as well as information I received from master teachers within the last 10 years, but I've been studying for longer. This show is important to me because this show launched this podcast. The reason why I'm doing this podcast again is because of the Great Mother's Return. In 2012, there was an energy that came to me in a divine download. And I shared it with my best friend at the time that I was going through some kind of awakening process where I was starting to get messages, get these sounds and but actual messages and downloads. And I started to write down the messages I received, which were divine feminine energy. That's all I knew. I didn't understand what it was. I started to, it may, of course, with my brain, what I wanted to do is start to dig deeper. So as I went on in my journey to find out what this divine feminine energy was and why I was being downloaded this information, I found out a lot of information and I want to share with you tonight. So there are some pictures I would like to share. There are some stories I would like to share, and understand that I had to name this The Return of the Great Mother Part 1 because it's no way that you can encapture the great divine feminine energy in just merely one episode. You just can't. It's it's impossible. So, this is a very general beginners look at the divine feminine energy in the way that it came to me, and so that you can see it with your own two eyes, because the word is masculine, the vision is feminine. So when you The first thing that we ever, the first God that we ever knew was our mothers. Our mothers gave us milk from their own breast. They cared for us and nurtured us when we were sick or didn't feel well, or shoot, when we were babies. They made sure that we were protected and cared for. And so you have to understand that the mother is the first goddess, and it's the first God. And I will say this so that, again, I preluded this with, if you are not ready, please do not digest, because this is meat. We are chewing meat now. We are eating. The mother, the universe, is feminine. So the divine mother created her, she separated from herself a masculine energy and created the male. And this is why in many depictions of the mother, you always see the sun. Okay? So the mother created the sun, as the universe created the sun and the other planets. So the universe creation is feminine. Now, let's get a little bit deeper into, let's look at men. Men have breasts that don't function as with milk, but they still have breasts. That's because they come from the divine feminine. We are all part of the divine feminine. You are the masculine versions. You were created by this energy, and you are here to protect it. There are so many roles, but I want my masculine energies to understand that you are a part of the divine feminine. And I really, really want you to stay tapped in tonight. Please. Thank you. Thank you guys for being in the building. So before I go any further, I know you guys are familiar. Peace and prosperity, sister. Thank you for being here. I know you guys are familiar with the sun god Ra. And please tell me if you are not, but the sun god Ra in Egypt is the male deities, the sun god, right? And Ra. So I'm going to go to a few pictures. I want to share some things with you as I tell this story of the mother's return. So we knew in Egypt that they worship the sun. And let me remove my comments real quick here. Bam. Okay. And in worshiping the sun, that was the sun god Ra. But in Egypt, there was also peace and blessings. Thank you for being here. There was also the female element of the sun god, and she was Re, or her name is Rayet Tawny. That is her. This is the female version of the sun god. So when you came in the building, if you were here, we started off with a little spiritual Tony, and he started off by telling you there's nothing new under the sun. But there is a new sun. So every 26,000 years, we receive a new sun. In the year 2012, December 2012, remember that when everybody was going crazy about 2012 was going to be such a crazy time, and everybody was just scared about 2012, right? Like we were about 2020, and I'll talk about that too. But in the year 2012 was the beginning, December, be honest, when the winter solstice, when the sun dies and goes out, that began the transition into the new sun. So in 2012, we were in the fifth sun. Peace and blessings. We were in the fifth sun. And the transition into the sixth sun, you understand that it happens every 26,000 years. We go Ra, Ray, Ra, Ray, Ra, Ray, Ra, Ray. It is masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine. So the transition began in December of 2012 during that winter solstice. In December 21st of 2021, was the last day of the 26,000 years of the Ra sun, the masculine sun, the sun above us. And so I'm going to say, I'm going to take a break. Not break seriously, but I'm going to take a quick breather and let you just digest what I just said to you, because there is a Ra and a Re. There is a god and a goddess. There is a masculine and a feminine sun. We have lived for 26,000 years under the masculine Ra sun. In December of this year, we will be living under the Re of last year. We started living under the Re sun. Okay? So that was that energy that is coming in, that divine feminine energy that you are feeling is coming from the sun that you are outside. We have a brand new sun. That solar return that happened in 2021, that 12/21/21, was the beginning of the new sun. This again is the sun goddess, Re. It is important to know this because these are things we are not taught about. We are only taught about, the male goddess. I mean, the male god Ra, and the Trinity. But understand that in Egypt, the goddess was not hidden. The goddess was not hidden. If you go and look in Egypt, all of the goddesses were out front. And a lot of the times that you looked at those sculptures and those pictures where the noses were knocked off, it wasn't just to knock off the faces so you didn't know that they have African or Black descent. It was because they also wanted you to not know that they were female. A lot of them were feminine. I'm sure you are aware of Hatshepsut. She was a feminine pharaoh. But a lot of times you got to think about this. The pharaohs were young men, okay? They were young men who were like 8 years old. Who do you think really was running things? The father, the king, the pharaoh, the kings, all of the kings would get killed out in war, and then they would leave their sons, right? But their son is 8. Same thing. That's how Hatshepsut, I can't get her name out right because I got a little stuff going on over here. But how she came into reign was because her nephew was left to rule, but he was too young. And so she became the pharaoh. And this was still under the Ra. We are now under the new sun. This is why you start to feel the divine feminine energy coming in. I'm going to refer you guys to a couple of things. So I hope you have your paper and pens out. I apologize if you were not here for a lesson, but I will not go into every single, I will give you information. I will ask you to use it as a spark for your own brain to go further and maybe look further into this. Yes, ma'am. So, yes, it does. It explains a lot. And I want you to understand that this is no fault of anyone. This is how things work out. These are divine timing, and the divine time is now for the mother. So we have to respect and return her to her rightful place. This is why things are out of place, because the truth has not been told, and we have to tell it. We cannot keep hiding it. The more we hide the truth, the more that we have an imbalance. And I'm not going to even use the word balance. I'm going to say disharmony, because it's not about really balance. We talk about balance, right? But if you think about it, it's about working in harmony, the masculine and the feminine working in harmony, not necessarily balance, because we keep fighting for equal. I don't want to be equal to a man, and I don't want my man to be equal to me, but I want us to be in harmony. And that's what this is. Thank you, Faith, for the stars. That is what this is about. I'm going to tell you that there's a lot of things that we were not taught, but we were taught. It was just mucky. It was just cloudy. It was just hazy, such as our Trinity, Aset, Asar, and Heru, the original from Kemet, Egypt. that inspired religion, the original Trinity. Now, when we went to Greek, they became Isis, Osiris, and Horus. And when we got Roman, well, we do know that America is not America, is it? I told you guys, we're going to be real tonight. We are in Rome. And in Rome, we are dealing with Mary, the Holy Ghost, and Jesus. The story has been rewritten over and over again to hide who you are from you. So you don't understand and you are not in balance. Because if your God has no goddess, then there is no balance. There is no harmony. There has always been the mother and the son. Throughout history, we have seen it. Our own popes, and if you are Christian, they worship the mother and the son. Let's just examine it a little bit. Here's Isis, or Aset in Hebrew, Isis and Horus, the mother and the son. Now, I don't know the other deities, but I'm going to tell you they're all from different countries and they all have the same symbolisms. There again, a mother and the son. The mother and the son. The mother and son. The mother and the son. Often I've heard what came first, the chicken or the egg. It matters not. It was feminine. Because feminine creates. And in order for creation to begin, it had to be feminine. The divine feminine energy birthed the masculine because it is within the divine feminine. If you have not met a mother who can turn from loving, nurturing, and caring to, I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to, or you're not talking to my kids like that. If you have never met a mother like that, then you have never met a woman who has stepped into both her divine feminine and her masculine. When women step into our masculine, we are often called bitches, but we have this energy within us. We try not to weld it, and that's why we have created the masculine energy, or why the feminine created that. So she doesn't have to. She can be nurturing but sometimes the divine feminine is not just softness and nature and nurture. Sometimes the divine feminine has to be destruction and regeneration. I'm going to explain also that, as I said before, that this divine feminine energy, it's been here, but it's been coming in for a while, but it is now here. And they already knew about it. Do you see your Pope here? Do you see that? They call her the Black Madonna, and that is the son, the mother, and the son. So when your churches have up the long hair, curly, straight hair, Jesus, and the Pope is worshiping the Black Madonna, I start to ask questions. You want a closer look? This is what she kind of looks like in different pictures. Now, her depiction has become, again, a lot more Arabic over time because that was not the original depiction. Again, this is the Black Madonna. This is the mother goddess that they themselves kneel to. This image. And this is where it came from. Before and after the Roman invasion, the conquerors came through and conquered and stole not only our people, but our spirituality and changed it into a religion. We have to start to learn and ask questions. We have to start to question the things that are being told to us if they don't seem right. It has never seemed correct to me that there is no female God within the Trinity. I don't understand I don't understand. Can someone explain it to me? How does that work? Because as we go back here, she was Mary, merely a human who was impregnated by here, the Holy Ghost, and gave birth to Jesus. When in fact she was Aset, who had enough power within her to put her body back of her husband. She could not find his phallus. However, she impregnated herself and created her own son, which was which was known to be her husband reborn, which is why they came up with the story of God and the son. And you guys, you got to look into it. You need to dig deeper. You need to know where your religion comes from. As we follow things, we should at least question or ask where the origins come from. Another beautiful goddess that we may see hideously again is Medusa. The snakes. What do the snakes really represent? Well, I will tell you, if they represented anything evil, I would not keep one near me. They do not. You are not evil. Is your spine evil? Is the energy that runs up your spine, your Kundalini energy, evil? Is your pineal gland, which is the tongue of the snake, which flickers when it is awoken? That is why they wore the snakes on their heads when they were pharaohs in Egypt. And isn't it funny how much Medusa's hair is similar to ours and to the mother, to the black woman's locks, which we know are antennas to the universe, which are connections to the divine. Do not let anyone demonize who you are. Do not let anyone tell you you are not divine. Do not let anyone tell you are not divinely connected. The divine feminine energy is returning, but I must tell you more. Remember those 10 commandments in the Bible? Where do you think they came from? There are 42 laws or ideals of Ma'at. These are the ideals we should be living by. And as I said before, the mother has always been depicted in a negative manner. Why? Because anything that they want to hide from you, they will scare you with. Okay? So a lot of times when I throw up this picture, a lot of people will click off. But I will explain something to you. This picture is definitely not to be feared. This picture is actually a symbolism for the goddess Kali and what she was asked to do. So let me explain. The goddess Kali, and I can't give you the name of each of the deities because I am not of the Hindu um, culture, so I'm not going to explain them. I know Kali Ma and I know Shiva, and I understand the story. So I'm going to explain this story to you as the best that I can. There was a demon. Okay. There was a demon who was granted the bone and able to, whenever he would be attacked, his blood would spill on the ground. He would multiply. Okay. So when the blood would spill, he would multiply. And so the people were scared. They went to their goddess Shakati and they asked the goddess Shakati to please come help them because this was something they could not, they couldn't defeat him, of course, because if they spilled his blood, he would multiply. So Shakati went down and she attempted to slay the demon for the people. And in doing so, she spilled his blood. And in spilling his blood, he multiplied. And when he multiplied, it became so much. And she, Shakati, invoked the goddess Kali Ma. Kali Ma, as you see here, has a sword. She has the blood sword to defeat her enemies, and she carries it to the head of the demon on her right hand. She defeated that demon. And the blood, she captures the blood. As I told you, if the blood was spilled, it would continue to multiply. So she Why is she filled with blood and craziness? It's because she had to drink it so that she would not spill it. In the last hand, she has 4 hands. Her last hand is for blessings. So she has the sword in one hand, the demon's head in another, the blood in the hand. Why is this important? Why does this even matter to us, right? Because in 2015, the face of the goddess Kali Ma was projected onto the Empire State Building in New York City. You can Google it if you like. Take your time. Kali Ma's face was projected onto the Empire State Building in 2015. Why was that? Why would they do that? What does that mean? Was there some symbolism to this? Why in the world would they project a Hindu goddess, the dark mother, the black mother? So, first of all, let me just explain that the name Kali means time. When you see Kali Ma on your Empire State Building and you understand that that means time and she is the mother time, time is up. The rain is up. This is the signal. As I explained to you before, they must tell you. What does they mean? I'm not going into that, but it must be told to you. So if your subconscious mind sees this, it understands. But if you don't make conscious of what you're seeing and you keep going, it's not of anybody's purpose to make you understand what you're seeing. It's for you. And when I saw this, I dug deeper. This is a symbolism of the return of the divine feminine energy, and it will be in the beginning chaotic as it's been in 2020. I mean, since 2012, it's been a little chaotic. But when 2020 hit and all those viruses and 2020, yeah, hit. And then we got this COVID, and then we've been in, you guys, this is all a part of this energy coming back because it's imbalance. When things are out of balance, if your system is out of balance, you will catch disease. The earth is out of balance right now. The mother is returning and the energy needs to come back in balance. I will show you another depiction of the mother that you guys may see. And again, she is depicted as black, right? And there's a reason they depict her as black. As blackness represents what they call a negrona, which means beyond all the qualities of nature. And she also, the reason she has the 4 arms is because she has the aspects of both creation and destruction. If you think of just the word God, generator, operator, destroyer, the mother, there is a fear of the energy that is returning because it's been imbalanced. And the fear is, if it comes into balance, what will I lose? Nothing. You will lose nothing. You will gain your freedom. The freedom to be who you were supposed to be and get out of the programming of this matrix. I'm going to give you something to look up. Podesta is the name. I know you may have heard of it. I'm not into the government and all of that stuff and all of those, but look up Podesta files. Look up 0 point energy returning to the earth and the Clinton. Look it up. 0 point energy. 0, the portal, the mother, the beginning of everything. The number 0 starts before 1, 2, 3, 4. All the other numbers, there's a 0. The portal in which everything enters. I want to give me a second because, oh, excuse me, I meant to add this picture earlier and I thought it was added here and I really want to show you. Oh, it's not going to take long because it's right there. So in 2012 is when I told you guys that the transition began. And I want to go back to this picture real quick of Kali. Actually, yeah, let me go back to this one because I don't think I gave you a full depiction of what happened here. So Kali Ma has slayed the demon, and now what happened is all of the heads are just popping up, right? So she got to the last head, but she didn't know that. And now she's bloodthirsty. So she's just slaying whoever's there because she don't know if he's shape shifting or what. She trying to get rid of the demon. So her husband Shiva, that is the man that you see. It looks like a man. He is not. He is a god. As you see the snake wrapped around his arm right there, but he is laying there to stop her. And her tongue comes out because she is embarrassed. She's embarrassed of how she didn't even know that was her husband. She was going in so hard. And so you see Kali Ma's tongue, which again represents the destruction, and you see it here. And I'm going to show you somewhere else. You will see a symbolism that's similar that is also a representation of 2012, the Mayan calendar. If you look here inside the Mayan calendar, you see this tongue. The Mayan calendar was supposedly ended in 2012. That was everybody's fears of destruction and the ending. But it was actually the transition of, again, the new sun, the new energy, the feminine energy that was coming into our plane. That is the same. This is exactly the same face. That is exactly the same tongue. That is the destruction that we were waiting for. Was actually it's not the destruction, it's the tearing down of old paradigms. It is the breaking of old systems that no longer work, that need to be destroyed because they never were built to uplift the mother. Why would you not want to uplift the one who created you? We want to give praise to everything, but not the one who created us, not the entity, and it's not a being, it is an energy. It is the energy. It is the energy that created the masculine energy. It is not the other way around. I come not from anyone's rib, and you do not either. We all come from wombs, meaning we come from the darkness, the triple darkness, like the triple dark mother. There is also, when I was growing up, um, I explored all kinds again of mythology, spirituality, all kinds of things because that's where my brain went. Even when other people weren't doing it, I had to because that's what I was called to do. I didn't understand what I was doing at the time, but I understood that I started to read up on paganism, right? This witchcraft, right? Why was it called witchcraft? Why were they demonizing the witches and not the people who burned the witches, right? Because witch meant wise woman. And there was a balance in paganism because there was a moon goddess and a sun god. There was a god and a goddess. There was balance. There was harmony. And so, what do? They want to push you away from anything within harmony. But yet, you celebrate pagan religions. So, we want to take pieces, not us, but them who built the religion, take pieces from other religions and build from other spiritualities, from other ways of life and practice, and build this religion that keeps us trapped in a paradigm with no mother. I don't know if you guys seen this one before, but this is the goddess Pele. If you ever seen one of my favorite movies, Moana, I think this is also the same depiction like of Tafiti, Pele. She's the goddess of the volcanoes. The mother has been depicted in both nurturing, caring, loving ways, in taking care of her children, in breastfeeding them, in in supporting her husband. She's been depicted in all kinds of ways. And there is always going to be a balance because the mother created the masculine energy. She created it from herself. So she encompasses it. So she can flip flop from it. She goes from naturally caring and to look at her taking the heads off of the enemy. You have to be able to look at the symbolism and understand it and not fear it. There's a lot of fear in and they hide it behind calling it occult, but occult only means hidden knowledge. We are in the age of knowing. This is the age of Aquarius. This is the age of opening our eyes. This is not the time for disrespect of any type of divine feminine energy. And this is something I really want people to understand, that any type of disrespect of that energy, when it's returning, it's kind of the same way. Like if you go to a country, right, that is predominantly patriarchal, right? Like these countries that stone women for being just saying that they had an affair. They will stone you if your husband or your brother or some man said something about you, because it's a patriarchal society. We are now in an energy where this is the matriarch coming back. You think you're going to be able to sit down and talk bad about women, about feminine energy, about the feminine, and there be no consequences. When it's okay, when there's consequences if it's the opposite. No. But the energy handles that. Because see, you have to respect what is in you. And she is within you. Just as we have to respect the masculine because it is within us, but it was created from the feminine, and that has to be known. In order to fix a Rubik's Cube, all the sides have to be put together. We cannot ignore or neglect the fact that the mother has been taken out of her divine place, that everything pre dynasty was matriarchal, that the passing down of like kings, how kings pass down their thrones to their sons, was actually taken away from the matriarch, how she was passing it down to her daughters based on a bloodline, though. See, there's a bloodline. You have mitochondrial DNA that the mother passes down to the female. That's where that's where the tradition starts. And then you take it and you copy it because you overtake the system because it is your son. But your son is, and you rule for a while. But now the mother is back and she wants to be put back into her place. So what are we going to do? Are we going to acknowledge her? Are we going to acknowledge the energy that is in all of us? Are we going to keep denying her? Are we going to keep acting as if it's okay to have a Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, all in which are masculine? Where's the energy? Where's the divine energy? Where's the creation coming from? Do you have a left and right side of your brain? Are they run by both masculine energies? No, no, no. There is a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere, and the left is masculine, and the right, or no, the left is feminine, and the right is masculine, or no, it's the opposite. One or the other. Y'all just tell me in the comments. But however, we have there is a harmony. And I don't want to keep saying balance. I want to get us closer to the word harmony. Because even when I look in Egyptology, how they weigh the heart against the feather, clearly we know that a heart is heavier than a feather, right? But not really. Because if your heart is out of harmony, it's heavy with the weight. See, it's not about balance. Balance means equal. It's not about equal, it's about working together. And we have to understand that where things started, if we want to get back to where things are supposed to be, we cannot neglect what is the truth, because the truth is what is going to set us free from this matrix. And it's going to take time. Again, the pendulum has been held so far this way that when it swings this way, people are going to think it's radical. It's radical. There's no way we should be doing all this celebrating of women. What is all this? But what about all the times that we celebrated all of the manly accomplishments and all of the masculine energy, and we were under that rule for so long? Why is it so hard to understand or accept that there may be a feminine energy or maybe a feminine God? I don't understand. And I'm going to tell you, it's not men necessarily who it's hard to digest. It's women too. And that blows my mind that you don't think that there is a reflection of you in your God. That blows my mind. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you for being here, Larry. Energy, we all encompass both feminine and masculine energy. We all encompass it. But we have to admit, in our own master teachers, go check out Brother Bobby Hemmett. Go check out Dr. Dilbert Blair. Go check out Phil Valentine. Heck, go and look these things up. Matter of fact, go check out my reels on IG that I've been dropping information all week on these, on the fact that these master teachers are telling you that there's always been a great mother and there will always be a great mother. And even if you don't get on board with it, it doesn't mean that the energy is not going to come. It's going to mean you're going to be out of balance. I'm trying to help you get into balance because the energy is here. It's not coming, it is here. So we have to be on board with that. And what does that mean for us? It means the activation of your intuition, your inner knowing, your inner goddess that's been hidden from you. It means less doing and more being. It means let's work, 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 work. Because that's that masculine energy of always having to go and get it. And it's not that we're not going to have to go get it, but it's going to come and flow more easier because the feminine energy is the energy of receiving. This is why it's important to understand and realize that balance and harmony are necessary. There is no God without the goddess. I am sorry. If you can show me one man who was born from another man, then we can have that discussion. And I'm not talking about no man-made shit. I'm talking about divinely. I'm not talking about no fake wombs. I'm talking about divinely. And don't make it seem, don't downplay it like, oh, she just carries the baby. No, you are entrusted as the portal, as the carrier. Put that woman back where she belongs. Because if you don't, you will be left behind in the 3D. Because the energy that is here is not playing games with this system anymore. The systems are coming down if you don't see them. The inflation and all of this stuff is to bring the systems down, to break everything. I was warned a long time ago that this is not my fight. But what I need to do is sit back, get my shades, and watch the house burn because that's what's going to happen. But when it burns, it's going to be rebuilt the proper way because we got 26,000 years under our new sun. And I know many of you have heard about the sun that they are trying to create. Why would they be trying to create another sun if there's nothing wrong with the sun? Because it's a feminine energy that is pushing down upon us. Again, I'm gonna give you a second to digest all of that. Let me know how you're feeling over there in the comments. I know y'all a little quiet, but I see you there. And I'm a little dry and parched. And I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous about doing this show. I've been nervous about doing this show for a while because I understand that it's not information that everybody's ready, willing, or able to receive. That's why it's on my podcast. If you don't want to hear it, you don't have to. But it's for those who need to and want to because it's a needed information. So again, I'm going to take a sip and give you a chance to digest real quick. I'm going to play this little nothing new under the sun. And we're going to come back and keep discussing this divine feminine energy. But again, you can Google this information. And again, I'm going to give you some master teachers. Dr. Dilbert Blair, Dr. Phil Valentine. I'm going to say Dr. Dilbert Blair a million times because that was the first master teacher who really opened up my eyes to things and like had me really like exploring know thyself. And woman, if you don't know yourself, how is man going to know himself? We got to be put back into order. You know, I got again, go to my reels over there on on IG. I got reels up there with Nina Simone. She's trying to tell you guys like her mission was to spark something in you. And now I'm on the same mission to spark something in you so that you know that this divine energy that you feel, I know you feel it. I know you feel it because the chaos you can't ignore the chaos. And woman is known as chaos. And the balance is structure. We need it, but it's too much. It's been too much. It's been too much. We've been so structured that she's been silenced. There's no more silence. Nothing new under the sun. I'm going to just take a quick break. I'm going to come back. And again, this show has been very important to me, not just because You know, it's the basis of my whole entire podcast that I was drawn here by the great mother to give this message that I've always been drawn here to. Yes, we have to wake her up. That's right. It's a song by Lava that says, rise up, goddess. Let the world see your greatness. Because understand, by putting her where she belongs, we all fall into place. It is nothing wrong with lifting your mother up. It is nothing wrong with putting the divine and protecting the wombed man, the one who brings life. Why would you not want to protect life? We're going to talk a little bit more. I'm going to take a quick little sip break. I'm not going to play the whole song. I'm just going to play a little bit because I don't know how many people were here in the beginning. But again, we're under a new sun. But there's nothing new under the sun. But this is a new sun, and that means there's going to be new energies coming into you. What are you going to do with them? How are you going to use them? We're going to discuss those energies right after this.
Oh, oh, oh. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Had to cut off my friends even though that I miss them. Feel like niggas be tripping. I be needing some distance. I ain't smoking no blunts, I ain't purposely sipping. Man, I'm moving too different. I been calculating on my steps, my nigga. Working hard on my vision. That's the life that I'm living. I ain't focused on y'all, I'm just minding my business. I ain't saying you bad for me, but I know you can feel that the energy shifting, the energy changing. So lately I've been making new rearrangements. What would you do if you was me? And you can see it like I see it. And you can feel we not connected. I feel like you would respect. So I'm making a checklist of things that I wanna do while I'm still living. Had to grow out my feelings, put good vibes in the building. Cause too many times I listen to everybody, need to listen to me. Too many times I was up at nonsense, need to be by the trees. I gotta catch me a breeze and get rid of all the shit I don't need and live this life in my speed. I need a trip way overseas, need this for me. I'll spend no time focusing on me. Spend some time focusing on you. Know it's crazy this world we live in, but it's nothing new. I'll spend no time focusing on me. Spend some time focusing on you. Know it's crazy this world we live in, but it's nothing new under the sun. 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 The sun under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. The sun under the sun. It's time to lift up everybody. Time to get out in the sun and feel one with everything.
All right, y'all. I needed that little break. I appreciate y'all sticking around too. I appreciate that. And that was a spiritual Tony with Nothing New Under the Sun, or it's called Under the Sun by Spiritual Tony. And yo, I mean, I promise you there's nothing new under the sun. But if we don't look for the information, ain't nobody gonna give it to us. I promise you that your suppressors and your conquerors ain't trying to get you to wake up and understand nothing, not a damn thing. They want you to stay sleeping. They want you to stay unaware. They want you not to use the divine feminine energy. Why do you think that they got all this virtual reality and all of these things going on at one time? Why? Because they want to distract you from going within. There were so many people last year when I started my podcast. There were so many people into awakening and spirituality, and then this COVID and stuff hit, and folks was like, I gotta look. And they start thinking about all kinds of stuff, and now we're distracted by all of these other things that are going on. But in the meantime, this energy is steadily coming in, and they're steadily using it. They're using it for their own good, to try to hang on as long as they can, but understand that this shift is going to happen. And as it shifts, you're going to see the earth shift. You're going to see people pass away. You're going to see new types of babies being born, more aware, more intuitive, more empathic, because they're more connected to this new sun. See, we all know, we understand about our astrology, right? We all understand our sun signs. We understand there was a 13th sign added. Why? Because we're under a new sun. The kids are more intelligent. They're lifting their heads up when they're coming out the womb. Why? Because we're under a new sun. The influence. You have sun sign, right? You have astrology, you have your sun sign, Taurus, moon, Taurus, Libra, Capricorn, Pisces, right? These kids have a different sun. We were born under the 26,000-year-old Ra sun. These kids are now being born under the Ray sun, the goddess energy. These are different beings. Because when we have different energy coming into us, our soul, what is the sun? Solar. It is connected to our soul. When there's an upgrade in the sun, there's an upgrade in our soul. When there's a changeover in the sun, there's a changeover in our soul. We have to start connecting that we are a part of divine, and divine is us. Nature, mother, father. It's all us. But we have to put things back in order. And I will never, ever apologize for telling you that what came first, the chicken or the egg, it matters not. It was feminine. Because the feminine energy created the masculine. Again, show me somewhere else in creation where creation started with the masculine from a rib. Nowhere but in Christianity. Because our stories have been stolen and been switched and been turned around so we don't understand who we are. Because as this awakening happens, those who don't get on board will be left behind. Mentally, consciously, they're going to feel frustration because things aren't going to be working in the same manner in which they were. You are trying to live in a patriarchal system when everything that's being built right now is matriarch. And if you're not trying to get on that wave, you're going to feel frustration with keep on doing, and nothing happening. And then you see somebody else being and shit just coming into them. That's why we got the age of the influencers, where they think they can just be and things start coming to them. They think of things and they come in quick because that's the intuition that is connecting to that inner God. That is how it works. When I don't know if you ever heard of the Hopi tribe, right? They talk about the red and blue Kachina. Yeah, I'm gonna get deep into this on a whole nother episode, but I gotta touch bases on a lot of these little things. The red and the blue Kachina, right? This is the red and blue star that is supposed to come back. One is destruction and then one is to rebuild. The red is going to come and destroy, and the blue is going to rebuild. Where did we see red and blue again? Where did we see that? Where did we see that red and blue again? The red and blue Kachina, the mother, the destroyer, the generator, operator, and destroyer. Every different, you got Greeks, you got Romans, you got, European, you got all these different, and they're going to all make their gods look like them. Who doesn't want their God to look like them? Us people over here, us black people. We got to understand that the original gods looked like us. The ones that were here in Egypt, the ones that were coming down, they were looking like us. And we don't even understand that your shit have been stolen. But everybody else makes the gods look like them, and that's okay. We are okay with that. But we're not okay saying that, maybe I do kind of look a little bit like this. Maybe I do kind of got some Egyptian or some goddess in me. It's not okay for us to say that. It's not okay. If you go to other places and you say I am God, they will say, "Yeah, we know." But here, you say that, people are like, "Oh, that's blasphemy." No, it is not. Let me tell you something. My daughters in there can say, "I am Raquel." They can say that. They could, because they are the daughters of Raquel. I am the daughter of the divine God goddess. I am the daughter of the divine unit, the one creator of all unity. And I'm not afraid to say that I am a goddess because I come from a divine entity. Like, if you are afraid to say that you are a part of the divine, then you are worse than the Judas who denies the Jesus in the book. Because you are divine. The reason why these energies are coming in is to put things back in order. And it's because it is the natural order of things. 26,000 years under a sun. I again titled this The Return of the Great Mother, Part One, because there's again so much I would like to continue to go into. But I also know that I got to break this down into bite-sized pieces because again, it's a lot to digest, especially if we've been raised in households where we don't talk about stuff like this. We don't discuss things like this. This is out of the norm. This is crazy. You don't talk about stuff like no. But we need to. I have these discussions with my daughters on a regular basis. They understand. They understand what a mother goddess is. They understand they understand. They understand that pre-dynasty there was a matriarchal rule. They understand that. And I make them understand that because I don't want anything that I learn now, if they learn it earlier, think about how further ahead they will be later. So I ask that you share any information tonight that you received that may resonate in your heart with somebody else and allow them to invite it in. If they're not ready for it, don't push it on them. But if you know somebody who's hungry for information, share, share, because she's here. The energy is here. The divine feminine energy has returned. It's all about what you choose to do with this creative energy that is here. It is all creation. I want to explain something. If you ever again, and I was talking about the pagan religion, I kind of went off track because I decided not to write. I decided to allow the energy just to flow through me and speak on this tonight. So I don't have much written down. I have a couple of notes about Kali written down, but nothing else. And I wanted to go back to the triple goddess. If you look it up, it's called the triple goddess, right? And what it is, it's called the maiden, the mother, and the crone, which are also the three stages of womanhood. I will have to read that, Keith. Thank you for putting that there. I will check it out. So there is three stages of womanhood, right? There is the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Well, if you think at the woman, there are three major stages in which the woman goes through her stages. You have the time when she starts to menstruate and become a woman, right? That's the maiden. Then she becomes pregnant and has her first child. That is the mother. And then when she stopped menstruating, now she is able to withhold her own creative energy within herself. That is the crone. I want to explain some things about these triple goddess energies because, again, it is depicted in human form so that you can better understand it as a story. But these are not humans, these are energies. Okay. So with the first energy or wave of feminine energy that comes in, the woman is able to create. This is when she becomes a woman. This is when she steps into her womanhood. This is when she gets her period, right? This is the maiden area. So this is the time when she is able to start creating because we know that babies and all of that's about creation. So starting your period is about the creation, being able to start to create. As a mother, she is able to continue to create. So she is through these stages, she's going through creation, right? Meaning that she's pushing all her energy outward. She's giving all her energy to her children, to the entities in which she's bringing upon this earth, right? So then at the last stage, in the crone stage, she no longer menstruates. So she no longer is able to push creation out. It is now within her. And she needs that. Ladies, we need that. That cutoff is to withhold the creation because you need to take it with you as you cross over. This is where the wisdom comes from as well. In a lot of cultures, the crone is more respected than the maiden and the mother. the older woman, if you notice in other cultures, they'll have her as the oracle, right? Because she's so wise, right? Because she's able now to no longer push all her creativity and creation out into the earth. She's able to withhold it within herself. That is the end of the menses, end of the menstruation. Women, ladies, it all coincides with the great mother, the energy that we harness as female energies. Men, you harness this energy within you. You have to allow her to awaken. Your intuition, listen to it, don't doubt it. Balance your masculine energy. Balance, come into that. We know you are masculine. We want you to be masculine. That is why you were created, to be very masculine. But you have to at least acknowledge the feminine within you. Ladies, we have to pull ourselves away, women, goddesses, away from this patriarchal system where we are acting in our masculine ways and get back into our divine feminine. It doesn't mean we always have to be dainty and prissy and women. No, because the divine feminine encompasses both feminine and masculine energy as well. She created the masculine energy, 111 on the clock, 111, 11, 11 on the clock. She created that energy. So we have to learn how to balance that and allow the man, the masculine energy, to do what he was created to do, which was be the masculine energy. And it's about harmony. It's not about balance. It's about working together. It's about acknowledging that you are trying to protect the one thing that brings life, brings the souls unto this earth. That is if you don't think that's an important job, if you want to say that I'm disregarding that by saying how important the feminine energy is, then you have me mistaken. You're not listening. The masculine energy was created for a reason. She wanted to understand herself fully in her fullness. How can she? Because she embodies both feminine and masculine. So I need to see it in both. I need to see it in human form. I need to make them in my image. Because I am both. I'm sweating over here, y'all. I feel like I'm in I'm in a pulpit for reaching. I'm sweating. Maybe I should have had water instead of wine. But you know, they give you wine in church. Y'all got a break. I gotta take a little quick break. Divine is just like she just flowing through me tonight. But I just want to tell you guys, like, we have to understand that the goddess is here. The energy of the goddess is here. Let's use it. It is our energy. She is our mother. Respect the women in your life. Respect the women that are not in your life. Respect feminine energy. And even when they don't respect themselves, raise them back to where they belong, brothers. That's what we're supposed to be doing here. Not saying, well, they degrade themselves, so let's keep degrading them. Does that make sense? If I see a sister not doing what she's supposed to, I'm going to invite her over to my podcast and try to turn her into a divine entity. If I can't, then you know what? I'm not going to talk bad about her. That's what I'm not going to do. Because that energy understands, like they say, God is all seeing, all knowing. She knows. If you're treating her daughters, her reflections, she knows. So yes, there are women out here who disrespect themselves and are not using the divine feminine energy in the correct manner. Correct them, help them, do not judge them, because they are the mothers. They just confused and lost and don't know. A lot of people don't know. Hell, if nobody sat down and told me or gave me this download, I wouldn't know. If I didn't tap into Dr. Dilbert Blair, I wouldn't know. It's not something I learned at church. It's not nothing I learned from my grandmother or my aunts or nobody. It's something I had to seek the knowledge. And now that you seek the knowledge, share it with someone. The feminine energy has been disempowered for so long. We need to understand that intuition, that inner energy, that is a blessing. That is like, that is the sixth sense. Don't you like don't you understand that when you embrace that, that the blessings are going to just, whatever you did consider a blessing, to me, it's just, it's going to crack you open to who you really are and what you really can bring in here. You you will block yourself every time if you block the feminine. If you don't understand that that is the direct connection, that is it. If you deny that, I don't know what you expect to come to you. And I'm not here trying to preach. I'm just trying to teach you about yourselves. You have a mother and a father, but the mother has been hidden so long. It is time to acknowledge her. I will do a part 2 to this, y'all. I promise you. And it will get deeper, and I will make sure I have, and the reason I'm my brain's all over the place. The reason I didn't write things down is because Divine told me not to. When I kept trying to write things down, it's like, don't write things down. I want you to flow with it. And I said, what if I forget? She said, that's why you'll keep coming back. Because I'm going to continue. Once you open up and you allow Divine to flow through you, believe me, she is happy tonight. She is grateful tonight. And I will pull a message before I leave, you guys. I will pull a message for you guys. And I'm going to pull from my Hip Hop Queens Oracle deck because it's going to be a collective message. I'm not going to do one-on-ones, but I will pull a message from you and ask the Divine Feminine for a message. And I'm hoping that she is happy with this message that I gave you guys tonight. And did I spark something in you to make you want to look into more about this divine feminine energy that has entered this plane? Remember the word 0 point energy. Remember that, please. 0 point energy. Because they are trying to use it now. There's so much I want to be able to tell you, but I want my platform to stay here. I want to be getting shut down and blackballed and all that good stuff. Yes, it is a cool deck. And I didn't do Tarot Tuesdays, so I want to be able to use this deck. And I felt called to it, and that's why she's still sitting here. So again, it is the hip. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on, y'all. Ooh. Thank goodness I ain't spilling on nothing important. Okay. All right. Give me a second here. Give me one quick second here. I made a boo-boo. With my wine. All right. Here we go. So before I go, I'm going to ask, and it is the hip hop. I got Queen Latifah on the bottom of the deck, y'all. Respect. That's right. Respect. Look at that. Respect the divine feminine energy. That is the message. Good night. No, I'm just playing. I'm going to shuffle for y'all. I'm going to give y'all one message for the collective from the divine feminine energy. I'm going to ask for the divine feminine to be with us tonight. Please give me one message for the collective. You guys know I love my tarot, and the tarot helps me connect with divine, even though I have plenty of other ways. I just ask her to be with me and give me one message from the hip hop queens deck. One message, please, divine, feminine energy. Please give me one message for the collective who are here, who will watch this, who are watching right now. One message for the collective. What do they need to know? Okay. One message, please. One message. One message. And thank you guys again for tapping in tonight. I really do appreciate it. One message. One message, spirit. One message for the collective. One card for the collective spirit. One message, divine feminine. One message for the divine. One message from the divine feminine. One message from the divine feminine. One message for the collective from the divine feminine, please. One message. All right. And I got two. All right. There are two messages, and they are two bad chicks. We got Janelle Monáe, who has fluidity. And we have Miss Trina. Whoa, wait, I got it. The balance, tenacity. So we remember I was talking about there's energies that are both, you see Janelle Monáe, people think, oh, she's all buttoned up and she's all respectable. Then you got Trina. Look at this energy. She's a little bit more hottie. Hati. That is the divine feminine. Not that she's like this. I'm saying that there's a balance between her. There's the masculine and the feminine. There's the balance. And so for me to see this, I see that there in women there are different type of women out here, but they're all women. They're all goddesses. Believe it or not, they're all connected to that divine feminine. So we should again be lifting them up. That's the message that I just seen from the cards. I will read the message for you guys, but this is the message I just received when I saw the cards. So again, we got Miss Janelle Monet and we got Trina. So those are two totally different types of energies. So fluidity and tenacity. All right, fluidity and tenacity. Yes, it's one of my favorite decks too. I really started using this deck and getting the message clearly. So thank you, Netta. Yes, it is a dope deck. I appreciate you always tapping in. When I seen this deck, I said I gotta tag Netta in this because I know she's gonna love this deck. All right, Janelle Monet is gonna be first. All right, so Janelle Monet's is fluidity. And fluidity, it says experimentation, flow, freedom, and exploration. You may be diametrically opposed to the phrase go with the flow. But Janelle Monáe card advises you to do just that. The moments you're unsure where life will take you, you are precisely the ones that may hold the most beautiful experiences you didn't know you needed. Don't adhere too strictly to standards that haven't served you. Loosen up your grip a bit. Hop off of the tightrope and say, the hell with it. When you stop caring what people think, your own thoughts can prevail. Those bright ideas could be the hidden figures you've needed the whole time. So, well, damn, I got that message. I appreciate that message because I told you guys I was worried a little bit about having this show because I understood that a lot of people were not going to be able to receive this message. But I had to stop caring about what people thought because this message was for those who needed to hear it. So that was fluidity. All right, the next message from Trina. Trina, the baddest chick. Who's bad? Who's bad? Tenacity. All right, Miss Trina, tenacity. All right, tenacity, which means security, reassurance, and charm. Trina's card and her career can teach us all lessons. Hold firm and steady, and you'll never falter. Practice also makes perfect. So if you're feeling like you're losing your grip on someone or something, maybe more work is needed. Often we think we've got it all figured out, giving us a false sense of security. That is until we realize we don't. Of course, that realization can shake anyone to the core, but let this card guide you into the direction of I can and away from I can't. It's time to get a grip, literally. Hold on to what you want to achieve and don't let go. You'll be the best at being the baddest. I know that's right. That is the message from spirit. That is the message from the divine feminine. Be the baddest you that you need to be and don't worry about what other people say. If you received anything from this, I pray that you got any kind of messages from tonight and you understand that that energy is here for you and that the universe, uni means unit. Uni is one verse, one goddess who created all of the rest of this stuff. The universe is working in your favor always. Thank you guys for tapping into Pronoia Star Seed Podcast. I really appreciate 1, 2, 3 on the clock. Look at that spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you for tapping in again. I thank you for tapping in. I keep saying the same thing. Oh Lord, time for me to get off. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for being here. And always remember that the universe is working in your favor. This is Pronoia Star Seed Podcast, the return of the great mother. Thank you, Mama, for being here with me and guiding me through tonight. Thank you, Mama, for always watching over me. And thank you, Mama, for bringing me onto this earthly plane and giving me the opportunity to share my gift with those who need to hear it. Again, this is Pronoia Star Seed Podcast. I thank you all for tapping in. I'm going to go out again, with my boy, Spiritual Tony. I don't know which one because I'm just going to push a button. Hopefully, it's the right button. But again, I thank y'all. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good night. All right.
Got the candles up in here, setting out the vibe right, you know what I mean? Tony, yeah. Meditation I do on the regular. Most of the time I don't be on my cellular. Mother nature a vibe, I'm telling you. If I don't keep it real, then I'm failing you. You a guy, they don't want you to know it. You got light that's within and you glowing. Fuck the shit that the matrix is showing. Only you gon' find out where you going. I can never go back to the old me. If you been out my life, you don't know me. Once I control my mind, I control me. I let go of the lie that they told me. I'ma stand on my words, nigga, boldly. I was trapped, now I'm setting my soul free. Yeah, I was trapped, now I'm setting my soul free. I'm not spending all day on the gram, nigga. I be treating these streets like they fam, nigga. Most of my family don't know who I am, nigga. To be honest, I don't give a damn, nigga. Think I'm crazy when they on my channel. There was nothing my mind couldn't handle. Getting grounded, I don't need no sandals. Set the vibe with some incense and candles. You can do what you want, you a god, boy. There's no reason you can't beat the odds, boy. Don't you convict yourself cause you tried, boy. Get back up when you fall like surprise, boy. And stay happy cause you is alive, boy. There's so many that done died, boy. Money won't bring you good vibes, boy. Only peace you gon' find is inside, boy. Meditation I do on the regular. Most of the time I don't be on my cellular. Mother nature a vibe, I'm telling you. If I don't keep it real, then I'm failing you. You a guy, they don't want you to know it. You got light that's within and you glowing. Fuck the shit that the matrix is showing. Only you gon' find out where you going. I can never go back to the old me. If you been out my life, you don't know me. Once I control my mind, I control me. I let go of the lie that they told me. I'ma stand on my words, nigga, boldly. I was trapped, now I'm setting my soul free. Yeah,
I was trapped, now I'm setting my soul free. Tony. Y'all have a good night. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Again, thank you for tapping in. This was a very special show to me. Thank you for being here. Good night, y'all.